The Ring Fanatics podcast, episode number 176. I'm Nick, your host. With me, as always, is my co host, Joel.
Yo,
As always, go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms IG, X, TikTok, literally everywhere, including wherever you listen to the audio versions of our podcast. We did three back to back to back prediction episodes. Now, well, we get to talk about one of them, and the other two are 2 weeks old, at least at this point.
yeah,
But let's talk about the one that happened this past weekend. AEW All Out happened in Chicago. A
yes,
lot of shit
sir.
happened that night. What were your thoughts on it as a whole?
Yo, I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I know a lot of people weren't big fans of it. I don't know if it was just because of the short time frame on like building out stories and stuff, but I feel like everything had a story attached to it. I feel like this was more of like I treat All Out now like Backlash. Like nothing huge, maybe one or two big things are gonna happen, but other than that, everything's gonna be pretty predictable. Like a lot of the finishes we kind of called. Um,
Yeah,
what happened after that? That's a different story. So I don't
that
know
is
where you
true.
want to kick off with. But I was gonna say we could kick off with talking about Brian.
Yeah, let's get right into that one, and I guess
Yeah. How are you feeling about that? What are your thoughts?
it makes sense. I mean, like not like it's all. It makes sense in terms of like why he did what he did,
Yes.
you know. But did I want BCC to split up? Not really. I thought it was fine. I mean, I get it. At some point, Brian's gonna retire and he's gonna be out of the group anyways.
Yeah, and I think also it's gonna like how they all built into talking about last night with Mox and Darby. It makes sense because we need Mox and Brian. We
Yeah,
need that one more time. If you think about it, I think we got in it twice,
I believe so. It was when they were feuding.
and then yeah, and then Regal stopped it the second time. He came in at
Yeah,
the end, and then that's when BCC became a thing. So we all knew it was gonna happen down the line. Because I mean, when Brian announced when he said, "Oh, this is like my last year," I was like, "We got to get him and Mox." I don't
yeah,
know how we're gonna get there, but we have to get there, and this is the way we got there.
yeah. Mostly, yeah. This is probably it. But the thing
Yeah,
is like, do you think now that in 2 weeks in Grand Slam, do you think Mox is getting that title shot, or do you think Darby retains it?
I think Mox is taking it. I
Oof.
think Mox is taking it from him. Um, Darby, listen, I love Darby. I love Darby, but I think it's gonna be more. It's a more exciting match with Mox and Bryan. I feel,
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
also I feel like some way somehow Darby is gonna get cost that match. Also,
What do you mean? He's gonna
I mean,
lose?
yeah, like he's still tied in with like Perry a little bit. He's still tied in with Christian. There's still so much with him that like before he gets into the title picture, he has to smooth out with the rest of his storylines.
Yeah, I
So I'm
mean,
not mad. I'm not mad that they're taking it away from him, but I see where people could be mad about that.
because the thing is though, like the only thing that I have like a question about that and I'm confused with, two things I'm confused with.
Okay, let's talk about it. Yeah.
A is like what they said last night. I'm like, oh, Danielson can't compete at Grand Slam,
Yeah.
but he has a match against Nigel. Like, which
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, sounds cool, but like, why say he can't compete if he can compete?
So
I don't get that.
so I think because of the beatdown, it wasn't that it's not that he can't compete, is that he's not cleared, right? So since he's not cleared, they don't want him defending the belt because come on, if you just got cleared to throw him in a match for the title is crazy. So at least it's an exhibition match. You know what I mean? It's not nothing. So he could take the L. But he did say when he loses his title, he's gone.
Yeah,
So he could take this L in the middle of his little run here. But I don't know what was the sense of that. I'm not mad about it because it's Nigel. Like if we get Nigel and Bryan, I listen. I could care less about a title match that night.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine with getting Nigel and Bryan. Um, it is weird a little the way they got to it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if this was the plan the whole time, or it just now there's like obstacles in the way that they have to like.
That's
I wonder what happened that things are being shifted.
because that's what I thought too. I'm like, was this the original plan, or they just thought of it like last week, and they're like, let's change a little
Exactly.
bit. So that was the thing. Second thing too is you also got to remember that Christian Cage is also the contract holder. So
Yep.
will he A, cash in on John Moxley if he beats Danielson, or B, cash in on Danielson and John Moxley doesn't win the title? That's the
Yeah.
thing. Because I got a prediction with Darby Allin um, winning the match at Grand Slam. It's
Okay.
like you have Darby obviously win the match. And then at Wrestle Dream in Seattle, they go one on one for the title. I think that's why they delayed it a little bit, so it could be like a
Okay.
pay per view match at least.
Yeah.
Um, and then it builds him up. There were also talks of Darby Allin being the next world champion. The rumors going around. I don't know if that's true or
Yes.
not. Um, but then it's not like a lengthy title reign. It's either A, he loses it that same night, or loses it that same week on Dynamite to Christian Cage, and that's when he
Yes.
cashes in.
Yeah.
And then it takes the moment away from Darby, and then Danielson still retires because he lost the title. It's a two-in-one thing.
Got you.
Um,
I'm not
but
mad at that.
yeah, but just again, like I don't know how Christian Cage will use the contract on John
Yeah.
Moxley if he wins it, unless because technically there is no like time limit when he can cash in. He can cash in whenever. It could be next
Which
year.
is true. Yeah, he could wait on it.
So that's also the thing, but I don't think they'll wait that long. They wouldn't do
I don't
that.
think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think so. If
So it's
anything, they'll
just
wait a couple months.
but yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it is interesting to see what happens though. That really like all this confusion I guess is a good thing cuz you don't really know what the story is until we find out.
Yeah.
Um so I guess
Because
it's
Mox and
cool
Darby,
that
we
way.
still don't know why he wants Darby so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
Like, is it
he
because he has the title shot? Is that why?
yeah,
Or is it
I
just
think
because he
so.
don't fuck with Darby?
I think it was cuz of the title shot.
Okay.
I think in the promo he said just give me the title shot. And
Yeah.
then I think that it turned into like, "Oh, face me for it then." Beat me for it, then you get it. But what I mean, why give this opportunity of a waste from Darby then? I think it would have been a great match with Danielson,
I
you
mean, he's
know?
gonna put on a match for Mox. It's gonna be a great match.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, but like with Darby, it's
They're
like,
gonna they're gonna wall out.
yeah,
Them two,
probably.
them two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good match, but I don't know. I kind of see Darby winning it.
Me too. A little bit. A
I
part of
can
me
see,
thinks that's is just a way to like build up
yeah,
Darby a little bit
like
more.
I see Darby winning it and then getting a beat down after the match.
Yeah, because I guess is like because he just lost at All In as well to Jack Perry, so I
Yeah,
guess they don't want Darby Allin to be like a filler person, so they're building
yeah.
him up to beat someone like John Moxley and
But
other
I
people in
still,
between.
yeah, but I still feel even like a loss to Mox is like it's okay, but still for the title shot, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, but it's saying if he didn't face Mox, then it
Yeah,
would kind of feel like a filler for him
yeah.
and versus Danielson at Grand Slam type of thing.
No, yeah,
So
that
that's
is
why I'm
true. That is true. So they put a little more emphasis on the match.
exactly.
That makes sense. Because
Yeah,
we could still, I mean, Darby could still get his title shot, and we could still get Mox and Brian down the line. Because I don't know if Brian's gonna drop it to Darby. I could see him dropping it to Darby. I don't think this soon.
yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
fine with Darby taking that win. Because that's a good W. That's a good like passing of the torch. Like yo, I'm giving you this dub over me. You're retiring me. That what like bigger privilege you got against Brian. But I don't know if it happens this soon.
Probably. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I see where.
Yeah, because I could see Darby beating him. I just would rather see it like at a full gear. You know what I mean? Like give Brian at least a little time with the title.
I mean,
And
true.
again, you don't have to make it long. Full gear is right there in November, and then he would have held it September, October, no, 3 months.
Yeah,
You know what
that
I
is
mean? He
true.
gets his little title run. He has all these great matches, and then boom, he loses it.
Yeah, and that is true. I
You
mean,
can
yeah,
argue.
I
I'm
mean,
not mad at that. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I said, like I think it's a good way to like it gets us on our toes. I guess it's like we don't know
yeah,
what's happening until it happens.
exactly. Yeah,
So Mox can lose for all we know.
yeah.
You know, Darby could win it. Darby could beat Danielson at Wrestle Dream, and that's the match. Christian Cage can cash in the same night. We don't know that. Maybe not. We could be completely
Christian
wrong.
Cage could Christian Cage could cash in after the Nigel match if it happens.
That is true. That is true.
That could happen.
Yeah. So
Like,
many things to happen, but we don't know.
yeah.
Um. Oh, that.
But that was a great. But shout out to Brian and Perry because that was a great title match
It
at
was
All
a great
Out.
match. But we
Um,
also
it,
got to
it,
see a new. I think this is a new BCC. We don't know what the name of this group is yet with Claudio Pac and Marina
yeah,
Shafir.
thank goodness, thank goodness,
Goodness, Yuta's out.
Wheeler is out of
Yeah.
there. Oh my goodness! When I saw that happen, they were hugging him. I was like, beat him down too. But I forgot
Yeah.
he's champion with them, so he can't even.
Attack him. Yeah.
He's still with them. Yeah,
We haven't really seen him come out on. We didn't see him at all last night, so we don't know like what he's doing. What they've been. They
yeah.
didn't even had the belt on them last night.
So what do you think of um? Damn, I lost my train of thought. What did you thought about the way that they turned on Braun?
It was cool.
I
It
saw a lot
was.
of people like iffy about it.
I mean, like it was cool in a way because I remember seeing like John Moxley standing out there like, oh, he's protecting Danielson from Christian Cage,
Yeah,
but not really because I think he was just not letting Christian Cage cash in. But then once Claudio did it, I wasn't expecting Pac to turn either. You know,
yeah,
I was like, what is Claudio doing? Is it Claudio, Wheeler, Yuta, and Moxley? Then once I saw Pac holding Yuta, I'm like, oh shit,
hugging it. Yeah,
he's hugging him. He's not letting him go.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh damn. So Wheeler didn't know about this,
No,
which is
yeah, it
cool.
was, it was, it was. I loved the way they did it.
Yeah,
I kind of had a feeling it was coming when
yeah,
everyone showed up with no BCC gear on, and they were all dressed like Brian when he came out at All Out. They had the white T-shirt with jeans. I was
yeah,
like, why is everybody
yeah.
just like dressed
I
like
mean,
this?
Pac doesn't wear any clothes, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really make. Yeah,
but when
but
I saw Claudio, because Mox we saw like that the last couple weeks.
yeah,
Then when I saw Claudio with it, I was like, hold up. And when he hit that uppercut, I was like, there we go.
yeah.
There we go. And then the bag, I know a lot of people were mad about the bag. I loved the bag. I thought
Oh,
that was
it was
awesome.
there was a lot. I mean, for me, I didn't have a problem with it, but there was a part of me that was like, "Oh shit, is he actually like, is he gonna let go of him at some point?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yo,
but they
this is
professionals. They know what they
yeah,
doing. You saw Brian hold the bag. He probably ripped a hole in
yeah,
it real small that he could
yeah,
breathe. But you gotta make it look realistic. But I loved it. I saw a lot of people. I know a lot of people were like, oh, they would never post this on their socials. Yeah, because it happened at a pay per view. Why would you give it away? Go order the pay
exactly,
per view, homie. Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah."
I
But
thought it was awesome.
what do you
I
think they're
thought it
gonna
was
do
awesome.
with the trios belts now that Yuta's not even in that group?
I have no clue what they're doing with those titles.
Because I said before, like I didn't even show up at Dynamite last night with the belts.
No,
So I think either A, Moxley will get the belt, but he's going after the world title, so that I don't know how that would work.
I think they need to
Um,
just drop the belts.
I think they would. No, my opinion, I think they should get rid of them, like scrap the whole trios belts in general,
Ah, okay.
because at this point it doesn't make sense to have them around. You have two tag teams, not Black, House of Black and the Bang Bang Gang, who are apparently the two only teams that go for it at this point.
Yeah.
Who
And they
also should have
keep not
been
giving it to them.
exactly, and they should have even been in the tag team turmoil last night, which I don't know why they weren't in it.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
understand that.
so they talking about. I know last night's tag team.
That was also great. That was a
It
great gauntlet.
was, it was a
I
great
love.
gauntlet, but it
Yeah,
was like at the
I
same
love this.
time,
I love this spot where everybody just came in and broke up the FTR pin. I was like, that's actually
yeah,
a fire spot.
it was. Although they do here and there, they care about their tag division, but at the same time, I feel like it's taken away from it because you
Yeah.
have to use some tag teams involved in the trios division. So at this point, I would rather get rid of the trios belt and scrap it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm not. I'm actually not against that at all.
because it
You
seems like
might
they
need
don't care
to.
about it either at this point.
Yeah.
So
So why just let it disappear? Fuck it.
yeah, that's
I'm
their
not
they
against that
yeah
at all.
that
And
like,
then let's
BCC takes away.
yeah, it lets you care about the tag division even more.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I
they should,
totally agree with that.
but I don't because I don't see Moxie holding it. That's the thing, and I don't know how they would lose it if they're not going to defend it with Yuta.
Yeah, they would just have to relinquish it. But why would you do that?
Exactly. Why would you do that?
Unless you get a new member and you give him the title.
Who would you be the new member?
No idea.
Garcia.
No idea. I don't. I don't know because if you look at the group has a feel to it. It's a lot of just ex WWE guys. I
Yeah.
don't really know who fits in that with them. Because
Oof.
also it's the aggressive guys. It's not just like oh ex WWE guys. No, these are like
The aggressive ex WWE
yeah, these
guys.
are guys that go nuts in the ring.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know who you would put in that role.
Do you think that has something to do with Shane?
I know a lot of people are saying it does. I would actually find it funny if it did. I wouldn't be against it because I'm always open to new things. I give it
Yeah.
a couple weeks. If it doesn't work out, then I'll turn on it. But if it's Shane, if you got a good story to it,
Cool. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you could always do the callback of them being general managers together. And he's like, "Why don't you just retire? Like, we just want to send you home to your family healthy." And they kind of run with that storyline of like trying to be the good guys and send Brian home so that he's with
Yeah.
his family and healthy. But Brian's not with it.
Yeah. He
So I
doesn't want
think
to
if
lose
you
it.
do something like that, I'm fine with it. If you have him come in and try to do like a hostile takeover, nah, I'm cool. You gonna try to do an invasion 2.0? No, thank you.
No, no, it's not gonna be an I think it's just gonna be this group and that's it. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah,
be an invasion.
cause I heard the promo and they were like, "This is our company now," and I was like, what are we talking about here?"
It's they're taking over, but like I don't
Yeah,
understand.
but that's what I'm saying. Like every week they say something else, and it's like, and then it unravels, and it's like, okay. Like when Moxley kept saying "we," then Marina showed up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's them two." And then they turned on Brian, and it was like, "Oh, it's a group. It's the group." Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so every time something unravels, we find something out the next week. So hopefully we keep finding things out and we figure out by Grand Slam what the whole scheme is. What's the plan?
yeah, probably.
Because I loved the promo yesterday, but it really was like just vague.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they didn't really say much besides the opening one that showed in
Yeah,
the beginning of the show. But
I do like that they gave Pac a mic. I do
yeah,
like that
he
because
said the
when he
same
was
thing.
he
It's
was
our
supposed to
company
really
now
do
too. But
nothing.
like, who like our like you just. I mean, I don't know. It looks cool, but like you gotta. I don't know what they mean by our company. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Y'all weren't. Y'all didn't create it. You know what I mean? It's technically the Young Bucks company. But
is
you
it
know what I
though?
mean?
That's what I'm saying. We gotta see what happens.
Yeah.
The the contract does say McMahon.
Oh my god, they wouldn't. No.
Hey McMahon.
Yeah.
Hostile takeover. That'd be nuts.
That would be.
But
That would be.
I'm interested to see where they go with it. Like I said, I'm giving them time to unravel it, see what
Yeah.
happens. Um, but yeah, hopefully, so far it's been exciting
Yeah, it
with
has
them
been.
coming out and walling out. And it's like Marina's just choking people out. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. That
that's
is
the
true.
kind of character you needed to give her. Like you didn't need to give her a technical side or give her a mic. Just let her just beat people
She
down.
she should have just been in BCC from the beginning. I don't know why they took so long to
Yeah,
finally put her in
yeah.
this group. Um,
Right now she's running with kind of the character that Shayna had in NXT, where she didn't talk, she would just come through and beat people up. Like
yeah,
when she first started out, that she would just come through, choke somebody out, and leave. I think that's what they're gonna try to do
with
with
Shafir. Yeah.
Sophia, yeah, because I think if they do that with her, they might have something.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, the
What's the
women's division is
worst?
now getting better. from
Exactly. You could start adding more names and more threats. And then
exactly.
she's running with this whole group of like crazy people. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chill.
That means she's gotta be on another level if she's hanging around with them. And she's the only woman. She's
Fact,
fucking
yeah.
somebody out there. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be
Exactly,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
She's gonna get into
So
some feud eventually with this.
not yet. It'll happen. It'll
Um,
happen. I'm
I
excited
mean,
with that.
yeah, yeah, me too. I'm excited for it. What else happened all out? A lot of great matches happened that night. I mean, even
Yo,
the Chicago street fight.
I was gonna say that the Chicago Street Fight killed it. They did their thing. I the card was amazing, man.
It was.
Garcia and MJF killed it. That was a
Yeah,
great match. Osprey and Pac. What else? Could you
yeah.
really say? Come on, that
Now,
match was dope.
now Osprey's going for the tag belts too pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm
So,
telling you, bro. I told you Fletcher's turning soon. I kind of feel like this is where it's gonna happen at.
because I what two things that I thought of when that happened was like either one, Osprey's trying to get rid of that like stigma of him losing matches out of the way.
Yeah,
Or B, maybe next week or the day of Grand Slam, Osprey's like, you know what? I kind of want to defend my international championship, and that's when Mark Davis comes back and he's in it,
yeah.
and then he wins the
That's
tag
what should
titles.
happen. Like
Yeah,
I get it. You need Osprey on the card. You think like him versus the Bucks. It is dope to see them in the ring together. But you didn't need to do it this way. You didn't need
yeah,
to do it this way.
yeah,
But it's gonna be a fun match. It's gonna be an exciting match. I don't think they're winning it. I think the Bucks are winning, of course. And I still think Fletcher's turn. I think this is
yeah.
where it's gonna
That
happen.
could be a possibility. That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. Um,
Because even when Osprey said no, Fletcher was like, "Man, come on! Like I wouldn't want to do this with nobody else, even though he has a tag partner. I wouldn't want to
yeah,
win these belts with
yeah.
nobody else."
He had
Da 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 da
Takeshita
da.
right there. Takeshita could have been a great choice, but
Yeah.
uh,
Also, it might not be Fletcher. Takeshi might come in and just whoop Osprey's ass, and that's how we get Osprey and Takeshi down the line.
who?
Because that
God
little
damn.
stare down they had
Yeah,
at the end of the
yeah,
promo was like, okay, okay.
yeah. I mean,
So I think
Takeshita
that could
also had a
definitely
great
happen down the
match.
line.
Takeshita had also had a great match at All Out. So I mean, he
Yeah,
also has a rematch, I guess, with Okada down the line.
bro.
Because he
That
didn't get
match is
pinned.
yeah.
So
That match was also fun. That was the fun match of the night. It was
yeah,
just like
it
they were
was.
just nobody was serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was just one of those matches that was just a whole bunch of spots. I was like, this is fun.
You have Mark Briscoe just being Mark Briscoe.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Orange Cassidy's always an entertaining one in the group. So
Question for you: what did you feel about? No, we're jumping now, but what did you feel about the main event?
uh, that was a
The,
steel cage match.
the unsanctioned main event. Yeah.
It was good. Um, it was
What's your
good.
thoughts? Nick? Come on.
No, it was not saying it was a bad match. It's just like I thought it was gonna be more physical than what it was.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, there was a lot of chair shots. Was there blood in the match? I don't remember if there was blood. Um,
There was not much.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be a
It
bloody
wasn't.
match.
Yeah, it wasn't as gory as the other ones.
Yeah. I mean, I get like even Swerve, you would have thought like Swerve would have just been hot from the start. But he was like
Yeah.
waiting till the bell started. I'm like, dude, your house was burnt down. If I was
Yeah.
Swerve, I would have started before the bell even rang.
But
You
you
know what I
can't go
mean?
crazy because if you get crazy, you could get caught, bro.
But
You
who
gotta
cares?
be
Your house was just
easy
burned
about it.
down. You think you
Yeah.
go take
Nah,
someone
I get
easy?
it.
So
I
I thought
get
it was
it.
gonna be I thought it was gonna be more physical than what it was. It was a good match. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I'm not saying it was terrible, but I
I
thought it
think
was
they.
gonna be more.
Yeah, I think they played more into the storyline of telling a story throughout it
Yeah.
than just going out there and walling out. Because I think they already showed us that they could go out there and wall out, and it's
Yeah.
like, nah, we're gonna give you like, because it was still hard hitting and stuff, but
Yeah.
I could see where it was more storyline based rather than the other matches were. You know what I
The
mean? They were really
yeah,
trying to have
the
the
story in it.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying hard, and I give it to them. Like I enjoyed the match. That chair shot at the end,
Oof.
ridiculous.
And the
And
needle?
needle
Oh,
through the cheek, ridiculous.
oh, god damn, man. I don't know.
The staples to the chest, the staple to the face, and then ripping the pictures off. It was amazing. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a good way to like. I don't think it's the end of the storyline, but a
Yeah,
way to put that war to bed. Because I think the next time we'll see them is when Paige is champion, and Swerve
comes back.
is
Yeah,
is gonna be on the hunt for that belt.
because
Not only for the belt, but he's gonna be on the hunt for Paige.
I think Swerve's taking time off too, so it may be a bit
Yeah.
since we see him next.
Now it makes sense. It makes sense because you
Yeah,
need that match. That match happens at a big event. That
yeah.
happens at a double or nothing. That happens at like a all in next
Or
year.
Grand Slam in Australia.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Or Grand
Yeah.
Slam. Yeah.
So there's a lot of pay-per-views now next year, so there's many chances that they can do with that. Um
Yeah, because I kind of feel like if it's not, because I don't think Mox is taking it off Brian. But if there is somebody, it's either gonna be Darby or Paige.
I could see Hank or Allen taking it off of Brian, and then but then you got Christian Cage in the mix, so it's like
Yeah,
it's got to delay it a little bit longer um than what we wanted to. But in terms of the match, like it was again, I'm not saying it was terrible, but it wasn't the best match they've had. Because
yeah.
I guess you're right, it was a storyline based, so it wasn't
Yeah,
really
they,
like
people have been complaining about how none of their matches have storylines, so they're
yeah,
really trying now to emphasize on the storylines.
yeah,
But I think it was. I still think, like you said, it was a great match. They did their thing.
yeah,
Again, a lot of people were mad at the finish about how with the chair shot, how it wasn't safe. Da 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 da. I was like, bro, like I had people hitting me up talking about that chair shot. And it's like, bro, didn't you tell me like last week you want the Attitude Era back? The Attitude Era is the best this thing, and you
yeah,
can't take a chair shot? Like, come on,
exactly,
come on.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was a crazy ass chair shot.
It
But
was, yeah,
again, someone to take that, they know the implications. They're trying to. He probably protected himself. There's ways to protect yourself. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, and he seems like he was good. He was posting on socials after. He seems like he's okay.
yeah. He seems fine. I mean, as long as he's
Yeah,
okay, then that's all that really matters.
exactly.
People think that like they got hit with the chair shot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like
was
if
like,
you
oh
got hit
well,
with it and you got injured, that's a different story. But you didn't get hit. Swear is fine.
exactly.
What's the big deal?
Because what
That's
was
the
the
big
other
deal.
chair shot that happened recently that people were like up in arms about?
I think it was the Jack Perry at Blood and Guts.
In the
Remember,
cage, yes. Because I
he
was
was
thinking
tied
about it.
up.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah. And he took a crazy ass chair shot. And again, people had stuff to say about that. I was like, guys,
he's fine.
these guys aren't taking these shots. Like, because I saw a lot of people like, hey man, that was uncalled for. That was unsafe. You don't
Yeah,
think they went over this spot? You don't think he said, yeah, hand me with the chair on my head? Like, come on.
yeah. They talk about it beforehand.
Yeah,
They
no one's
rehearse
just
it
going in the ring and wilding out. And if you
exactly.
are, you don't belong in the ring. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have a history of injuring people, that's a different story. But like, there's
Yeah,
it's one chair shot. Like,
exactly. Now, if you keep doing it, then it's gonna be like, guys, maybe we should stop doing this spot.
yeah,
But if you're not hurting nobody and everybody's good, everybody's safe, nobody should be complaining.
yeah, for real. But yeah,
But
what
it
else?
was a fun pay per view
It
though.
was, it was, it was for a 2 week build. It was a fun pay per view.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and there wasn't like again. It was a pay per view right. It was a pay per view right after another pay per view. We got
yeah,
some big stuff, but not a lot. Like it
yeah,
is what it is. But it was a fun one.
it was,
And
definitely
now
was.
now they're building up Grand Slam. Looks a little stacked. I'm excited for it. And we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with everything in stories because there's a lot to look forward to in AEW at the moment.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we're
there's
gonna.
a lot to look forward to
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, yeah, for anything. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna bounce around with topics.
Yeah, let's
Did
do it.
you see the PWI 500 list?
Yes, I did. And I'm happy you brought this up. I am so proud. of PWI
Why?
for giving Swerve his flowers. I
Okay.
was nervous he wasn't gonna be that high. Because in my opinion, for this year, I have him at one. Of course, he's not number one because Cody finished his story. It makes sense. He's had great matches. You can't take anything away from Cody. But I thought they were gonna put Swerve lower, and I'm happy that they gave him what I think he deserved. Number
Yeah.
two.
Because he also got Prince Nana was number one in the manager
Number
list.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if Cody doesn't have this whole story that he finished at Mania, Swerve takes number one.
For sure. It probably would have been reversed. Cody would have been like number
Yeah,
two.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
number two, yeah. But because of that, I get it. Cody needs number one. He deserves it. But
Yeah.
I was nervous because I thought they were gonna put Swerve like top
5.
10. I thought they were gonna
Yeah.
put him like 7. I was like, he deserves if not one, two, and I'm happy that they gave it to him.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
Question though about the list. How did you feel about the rest of the list? Because I know the top 10 were a
Ooh.
little up and down.
There was one question I had about this because I did look up the criteria. There's a criteria with this,
Okay.
as they always do. The period that they based it off of was August 1st of last year to July
Okay.
31st this year. And then
Ah,
there's a primary criteria. I'm reading a list. Wow. It's based off of one in-ring achievement, which is win-loss record, championships, and
the
tournaments won.
story, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2 is the influence, which is visibility and prestige within a promotion
Mm.
and or the industry. 3, it's technical ability, quality of moves, matches, and in-ring storytelling. Competition is the fourth one. Success against the most varied and highest quality opponents. And the fifth one is activity. You had to compete at least 10 singles matches during
Okay.
that time period. So
Okay.
I was thinking about that. One issue that I had with the top 10 after reading that.
What's the
Um,
issue?
why was Gunther so low? Why is he number
You're
9?
yeah.
And why
I
is
have
he
a I
behind MJF and John Moxley?
I have a better question for you. Why is Rollins so high on the list?
I mean, he did have a. I mean, most of
He
his
was
run
out
was during that
for a
time.
lot of time. He was out a lot of periods. How is he
Yeah,
number 5? Why is Gunther not above him?
yeah.
Why is Priest below Rollins?
I would have switched Rollins with Gunther.
Like I got no problem with Rollins being top 10, but I think he's a little too high, especially like the time that he took off and stuff.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
he had like a couple spurts. So like I get it, top 10. Gunther should be higher. Priest should be higher.
Yeah,
Um, MJF is iffy with me because of it's the year that they did like that storyline was just it dragged on too long. So I get it.
yeah.
He's still
But then he
top 10,
also
but he shouldn't have been
MJF
that high. He shouldn't
MJF
have been
also
that high.
took off from January to end of May. So
Exactly.
and Moxley had 2 months off as well.
Yeah.
Both Priest and Gunther were consistent the entire
Yeah.
time. They
Well, but
barely took off.
Moxie also got put into hand of New Japan.
I guess.
That's that's why Mox is up there. Because when I looked at this list, that was my two things. I was like Rollins is super high, and Gunther and Priest are too low, and Mox is what's Mox 7,
8. MJF is 7.
8? Okay, yeah, I would have I
And
would have
then
put I would have put
mm,
Mox at like I would put him at 8.
yeah.
I feel like he fits around there. It's like your top 10, but like he didn't do that much this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he did
Then
win the IWGP champion. You know what I mean? Like he has accolades that happen. So
yeah, then Naito was number 5. Shout out to
Naito,
Naito. Yeah.
I fuck with Naito heavy.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I'm
mean,
not
I
mad at
to
that
be
at all.
to be fair, I haven't seen much of his stuff within that year, so I can't really say he's not
Yeah,
top 5, but I didn't think he was gonna be top 5. Then you also have
not yet.
Mystico, who was number 10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
he
crazy.
had a great 2-month span, but, like, come on, like,
Yeah,
Mystico,
no,
especially some
definitely.
of the names that are not in the top 10, he was above,
Who's
like
11?
Samoa Joe.
He's that high?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh well, he won the champion. He beat
he did.
MJF for the champion, and that's also why MJF is high because even though he was out from January to May, from August to December, he held the title.
But still, I still think based off of the five criterias, I still think Gunther beat more of the MJF during that time. If you think about in ring achievement, he defended that IC belt and beat everybody until
Yeah.
he had one loss, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but with Gunther, there wasn't nobody that was gonna take it off of him. You know what I mean? There was no viable like it kind of like
Yeah,
with the Roman situation. They put themselves in the corner. There was no one to beat him.
that's that's why I said most of it is MJ. Most of it was Gunther because that's the one thing that really lacked. But if you're talking
Yeah.
about technical ability, Gunther beats MJF.
Oh yeah,
Influence,
definitely.
Gunther beats MJF. In ring achievement, Gunther beats MJF. I don't know why he's below MJF,
IC World
but he also won King
is
of the
tough.
Ring during that time frame. He has a tournament under the
Yeah.
belt. That's also something. And he main evented
King of the
WrestleMania.
King of the Ring.
It made it prestige. He made it more
True, I
prestige.
guess. I mean, it was prestige for 1 week. They called him king, and then we forgot about it. And it
But
was
he
like,
still
all
became the
right,
world contender. If it
true.
were an extra month later, if it was still the end of August, Gunther would have been over MJF, 1,000%, no question, because he won the world title at
Oh yeah,
SummerSlam.
yeah,
They
yeah,
missed it by a week.
yeah.
They missed it by a week,
No,
but
he better have a title run in his life so that he could be top five next year. He
but
will
he
though.
also broke the record. He also broke the record for the longest reign of IC champion.
Yeah.
That's something to. I mean, I get it. MJF was the longest reigning champion there too, but he
But
was
they're also
out for
looking
six
at.
months.
You gotta think of other stuff too. Gunther, even though there's some stuff that he hits the spot on the list, there's some stuff he doesn't. Like influence.
I
Influence.
think
I
he
don't
has
think he
influence,
does. He sell merch? Does he
but he
move
sells
shit?
tickets.
Is he ever on that top 10 list when merch sales come out?
But he sells tickets.
Does he?
I think he does.
People coming to see Gunther, or are they coming to
Yes.
see Cody Rhodes
Bash in
and
Berlin, they went to
Seth
go see Randy versus
Rollins?
Gunther.
I don't
When
know,
the
man.
King of the Ring, I'm pretty sure people were there to see Randy versus Gunther again too.
I don't know. I think right now because he was only the IC champion, you can't base his influence yet. Now as a champion, you can, because now you could say people are buying tickets because of him. Like even if they were beforehand, they won't prove that because it's gonna be because of Cody. He's a champion. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how Bret Hart gets a bad rap, like him and Diesel, because of the time they held the champion, the company stunk, and was like, it's not their fault. The company just stinks. Now it's just like, oh, the company's really good, but are the champions that good? Is that why they're going to see the shows, or is it other people?
I mean,
But
but then
now with
you
him
also
being the world
gotta.
champion this year, it'll be able to put that as the influence and be like, okay, he's the reason people are coming to watch this show.
I mean, if you think about it, the entire time he was must see on Raw. He main evented multiple Raws,
Yeah.
tons of match of the year candidates, main
Yeah,
eventing Raw.
but who was running Raw? Judgment Day.
It
That was
still
the
should have been
hot
no.
storyline. They have more influence than Gunther. That's why Priest is higher. And also Priest was champ. And Senior Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? That's what they're looking at. They're looking at where people moving. So because I've never seen Gunther on that top 10 list of like merch, that's why I feel he's so low. I feel like if he was like a top 2 seller, he's top 5.
I
I
mean,
think
is there
he's a
even Gunther merch? Do they need Gunther merch?
I feel like you need everybody to have merch to
He
get
doesn't
him
wear
some
anything
money.
to the ring. He wears a
Yeah,
jacket.
but get him some merch, man. How's he gonna make some royalty checks? You gotta do
Because
something. Give him a T-shirt or something. I've never seen a Gunther T-shirt. Now that I think about it,
I don't think they sell them.
do you sell it?
I don't know. That's a good
Hold on, I'm gonna
question.
look this up right now as we're on here. Gunther merch.
This was
Nah,
the
they sell
men's
stuff.
list
They
too,
sell stuff.
so
They
they
sell
do.
stuff, but it's bad. Yeah, they sell
You
stuff, but it's bad.
now we know why the people aren't buying because it looks
Yeah,
terrible.
exactly. It's
It's
not
not
even
his
his
fault. I
fault.
mean,
Not
if it
yet.
was nice
But
merch, maybe.
I think now with him being champion, them actually being to see the influence he has, rather than him just being the IC champ and them looking down on him, he'll be in a high spot next year.
Oh, for sure. I hope he does, man.
I do agree with you because like the MJF, he does belong above him. Um, Mox, of course. Yeah, I would probably put because I have the list was Cody, Swerve, Osprey.
Rollins, Naito, Priest, MJF, Mox, Gunther,
I'm
Mystico.
I'm putting him in that Rollins spot.
Gunther?
I'm putting Gunther in that Rollins
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, switch them around.
Yeah.
I think he deserves at least that. Come on,
Yeah.
put him top five. He's top five.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah,
sure. He's done a lot this year to prove.
you could and like you will argue. You could argue with the matches he puts on and all that other stuff, the promos he cuts. Like he deserves that top five slot. But they gotta look at it as he was the IC champ. He wasn't moving tickets. He wasn't moving merch. But now they'll see. Now that he's champ, they'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I mean, especially now. I mean, he has been doing well so far as
Yeah,
world champ. I
yeah. And
mean,
he's had great matches so far.
he has. And
Yeah.
the Bret
Wait till
Hart.
he gets a couple more. It's gonna be
Yeah.
incredible.
Exactly. This Bret Hart promo from this past Monday, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Saying you're number 2 behind Goldberg.
Yo,
Oh
first
god.
of all, that video. So I saw the video of like backstage with Bret Hart when he comes through the curtain, and
Yeah.
he could fucking care less what Triple H gotta say to him. He could care less. And my
Yeah.
whole thing was, can we talk about this real quick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I I think that was so foul of Triple H to have Bret Hart on that show.
Why?
I think it was so foul. First of all, cheap pop just because you're in Canada. Number two, right? Number two, you're going against Monday Night Football. I get it. You needed something big, right? You needed a big thing. You brought Brett out to announce something. You didn't just bring him out just to bring him out. I thought it was gonna be for love, like Bret Hart. Nah, he came out to announce something. And what did they announce, Nick?
I don't even remember the announcement, to be honest.
They announced that Survivor Series, the show he was screwed at, is coming back to Canada.
And that was announced weeks ago.
I would have told Triple H, go fuck yourself if he would have called me. If I was Brett, I would have said, go fuck yourself. Go call Sean. Tell him to go Canada. And
Yeah,
I
for
saw
real.
that and I was like, because I remember he got in the ring and they were like, and we want to announce that in Vancouver in November, Survivor Series. I was like, this is what they brought him out for?
Yeah. But I
Like,
get
come
it
on. That's the
to
show he was screwed at. Like, I understand people like, oh, like Canadian Stampede, like a big pay per view that happened in Canada that he was like a big part of. But Survivor Series, bro, he was screwed at Survivor Series in
yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. I know that sounds foul,
That's
but
so
like
foul. That's
it's
so
I
foul.
mean I mean what else? I mean I feel like it was cool though. Had an interaction with Gunther, was
No,
able
yeah, yeah.
to
No, it was a cool moment, but I was like, out of all things to bring him back for, like, you didn't even have to mention they were coming back for Survivor Series. Could have
yeah.
just said, yo, Bret Hart's here, boom, and they had Gunther come out. You did not have to announce Survivor Series.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it was a
I
cool
guess so.
promo, it was a cool moment.
It was
Gunther and
good.
Sammy, I'll tell you right now, I could care less. I could care less. I get it. I get it. It's a
The
filler. I could care less about Sammy.
but, like, the thing is, with Gunther versus Sammy, I felt like this feud should have happened, like, maybe down the line, maybe, like, not close well, kinda close to Mania, but maybe after Mania at Backlash. So it
Okay.
kinda feels like, Sammy beat Gunther for the IC title. Will he beat Gunther again for the world title?
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
to happen this soon is kind of question because I don't mind this matchup again. The only problem I have with it again is the timing of it. To be like, if Sammy was the guy to beat Gunther for the IC title, make him the legitimate threat and have him be again the guy to be closely having him beat the world champion. But I thought this would have been at least the Survivor Series match too. But I guess they're doing this for well, we don't know yet. As of right now, it could be bad blood.
I
But
think it's gonna be bad blood.
probably, but it should have happened way longer down the line.
Yeah. Is there a show in between Bad Blood and Survivor Series?
I
And
think
you say
Crown Jewel.
Saudi.
Yep, the Saudi show. The Saudi show.
Maybe we could have Gunther and Goldberg. That'd be cool.
Imagine we hear that. Like his number one guy. Brett versus
Oh
Goldberg
man,
again. That'd be hilarious. But speaking
just
of
let them
Raw
go.
though, you just
Let them
reminded
go
me of
out.
something.
Yeah, what happened?
Um, for starting on October 7th until the end of the year, Raw will be 2 hours again. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord on the 2 hour shows. I love the 2 hour shows. I feel like the 3 hour shows, you're just dragging us along because you're trying to fill up 3 hours.
Yeah,
These are about to be the best episodes of Raw that we've gotten in a minute. If you thought the ones that building up to Mania and the ones after were good, these 2 hours gonna be jam packed, and I'm excited for it. I think they, I think in Netflix they should get with the 2 hours. Stop with the 3 hours. I don't need three extra promos. I'm good.
yeah,
I'm good on that. Put that on. I don't know, somewhere I'm not watching. Put it
yeah.
somewhere I'm not
The thing is
watching.
though, is like I think this is like a test for them again. I know they've done 2 hours in the past, but it's like I
Yeah,
think that they're gonna see like this is like a Netflix thing. Like let's see how 2 hours works again. You
man,
know,
I love the 2 hours.
because
I was
for all we know, Netflix doesn't do commercials,
no,
right? So it won't take up 3 hours if it's on Netflix.
nah, but they're
But
gonna play commercials.
I think maybe like WWE
They
ads.
they need ads. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna do like what they do on Peacock,
Oh,
like
I've got
with
to
the
pay for
WWE
subscription.
commercials.
Oh
Yeah, that's
yeah,
how.
true, true.
And it's gonna be their sponsors, like how Prime. What else was it sponsored at Mania? Dude Wipes. We'll get like
Wingstop.
those commercials. Yeah, Wingstop. We'll get like those commercials.
Yeah, Slim Jim. You'd see LA
Slim
Knight.
Jim, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the 2 hour thing because I feel like you could get such a better show in two.
Yeah, you froze. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we'll have like commercials like that. I'm excited for it. I think they should go back to 2 hours. I just feel like the show runs more smoothly. If you saw like SmackDown Live when they did the whole split, like 2016, 2017, that's
yeah,
prime time 2 hour shows. That it was hard hitting, everything got in 2 hours, and nothing like felt like dragged on. I feel like sometimes when they do promos on Raw, it's like just to fill up time.
yeah. I mean that's why I think that this time period is just a test to see if Netflix would rather run on 2 hours or keep it three, because maybe
Yeah,
they don't want it 3 hours. They think it's too long. But
yeah, true.
um, we shall see if that even happens. Because I mean, again, it might feel weird a little bit because it's like we're so used to what 3 hours, and it's like
So, what time does it start?
I'm assuming 8. I'm
Oh, okay,
assuming.
I thought it was gonna be like back in the day. So back in the day,
Oh
you
yeah,
start at 9.
9. Yeah,
Raw
9
would
to
start at
11.
9, and then it would end at 11.
Yeah,
So I'm cool with the
yeah.
8 to 10.
I mean, I hope it is. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I think it might be 8 to 11
Let's
or 8 to
look it up
10.
real quick as you talk. The
Yeah.
Raw
I
schedule.
mean, it's. I think it's a. I mean, it probably makes sense to do 8 from 10, so that way more people could watch it, right?
True.
Because like if you do from 9 to 10, you got a lot of kids who are like, "Oh, I got school the next day. My parents won't let me watch it." Blah blah blah.
Facts.
But
That
I
was
remember
me
those
growing
days.
up, man.
Yeah, yeah. I hated that.
Had to put the VHS in and record.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay, so during this period, Raw will air 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern.
nice, nice. That's a
Okay.
lot better. A lot better. And
That means the Monday night 10 p.m. television block will be free of wrestling programming for the first time in decades. That's
hmm,
insane.
that is
That's
insane.
insane. Yeah,
That's
because
insane.
even back in the day, like I said, it would start at 9 and then end
Yeah,
at
yeah.
11.
I
So
remember that.
now stopping at 10 is that's crazy. We're
Yeah.
watching NXT.
Yeah, we're watching NXT. Yeah.
That's
Uh,
wild. 2 hours is crazy. Now that I think about it, like I'm excited for it, but it's just crazy because like
we're so used to it. It's been like over 10
so,
years. Yeah.
bro, I remember the stress I had when they were like, "Raw's going 3 hours." I was like, bro, like,
Remember that commercial they did for that? For the Raw is
yeah,
going 3 hours? It's like Raw starts at 8. and then John Cena has the
Yeah, it
headphones
was
out.
just
Yeah,
like the domino effect.
yeah. It's like I need to bake a cake, and
Yo,
then
you
the
see that was a
uh,
good marketing.
yeah,
Shout out
that was
WWE.
good. That was good. Then the ending is like Kali is like, I'm Kali. He is here
Like
to
his
check your
props to
prostate.
UFC.
Yeah, yeah. That
Like
was
how
so
the hell you
random
got
and
all the
funny.
way there?
Yeah, yeah. That was a good commercial. That was a good commercial. They used to make a lot of
Nah, yeah.
fire ones back in the
Nah,
day.
yeah, definitely. They gotta get
Yeah,
back to that. Now I feel like they don't need the commercials, but come on, you can still give me a
they could still,
commercial.
I mean, especially during Netflix, they need it now. That could
Yeah.
be their commercials. Um,
Facts. Catch us on Netflix.
yeah, something funny like that. That would be cool to see. Um,
Definitely.
but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a
And
cool 2 hours again. I'm excited for it.
yeah, it starts next week.
October 7th. So,
Oh, okay.
um, that's in right after. I think it's right after Bad Blood.
Gotcha.
So the Monday after Bad Blood, which
Okay, the same
also
week that NXT is on CW. The
yeah,
premiere week. Okay.
yeah. So a lot of things are happening too. A lot of channels are changing. And I was gonna say Bad Blood. It starts early. I think we discussed this last time.
Yeah.
It's starting at 6 p.m. Like the main show started at 6 p.m.
Yeah. I mean,
So
they don't wanna go up against
the UFC, right?
Korea. Yeah, they don't want to
Yeah,
go against him. That's the guy right now in the UFC. So they saw him on the card, and it makes sense. They're both owned by the same company. They don't want to
and
overextend into the other show. Even
yeah,
though I don't know how many WWE and UFC fans there are, like combined. You know what I mean? Like I know me and some of my boys are, but like when I talk to wrestling fans, or if I talk to UFC people about wrestling, or vice versa, people are like, that's you ask a UFC guy, they're like, that's fake stuff. If you
but
ask
who
a pro
knows?
wrestling fan, they're like, that's barbaric. It's
Yeah,
like so it's
yeah,
like, who are you really starting early for? You know what I mean? The couple hundred of people. But I
yeah,
appreciate it because I'm trying to watch both.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it personally.
But it's different. I mean, we so used to 1 p.m. shows that it's like 6 p.m. isn't that bad,
Yeah. And it's
really.
not even an international show, isn't it? Like in
It's
Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah, it's 6
So
p.m. What are we doing?
yeah, I mean, it gives more time for matches. I hope if that's not the
Yeah.
case with the UFC stuff, because we do have a Hell in a Cell match in
No,
there.
I think they'll be good. I think that's why they're starting it early, so that fits the time frame of
Yeah,
the usual 3 hour show or 2 hour show. Usually it's usually like 2.5 the pay per views now with the 5 match card.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, Ross doing 2 hours again. That was
Yeah,
what we started talking about. Yeah,
that's gonna be
um,
that's fun. That's fun.
yeah. I mean,
SmackDown's now on USA. Um,
NXT is going to CW. That's one question I had with NXT
what's
because
up?
they have CM Punk being on their first show in
They
Chicago.
stacked up. They stacked up their first
Yeah,
show.
and then you have Orton the following week with St. Louis. Are they
Yeah,
traveling
yeah.
going forward, or is it just those 2 shows? Because they haven't announced
I
anything else
no,
after
I
that.
think they're traveling.
Because that's
I
also
think
cool to see.
I think that they're traveling. I They should just stay at the performance center.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, because they didn't announce anything else, so it seemed that
Yeah.
they're staying, but they're not staying. I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I feel like they're gonna get a good like people gonna buy their tickets. I just every week I think it's tough though.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna die down a
I think
little
that you're
bit.
still treating them like a developmental.
Exactly. It should stay as developmental, and I think the
Yeah,
performance center is the great place to do that in.
yeah,
Because then you
fast. Especially
have,
since you're moving into Vegas, just set up shop there, and then you travel for the PLEs.
yeah. I mean, I think that's possibly why they're traveling, because they're probably setting up a new PC and they're taking this one
Yeah,
down probably. So I think for like the meantime, they're doing traveling until they get back to the PC. They're probably setting it up right now. Who knows?
yeah,
They could possibly be just doing that right now.
that is
Um,
very true.
but we shall see with
I'm
that.
interested to see how NXT does. Like, I think they're gonna
Yeah,
do really good, but like on ratings and stuff. But like if they're traveling, I feel like that's tough.
that is that
Cause it's
is.
like cool, you get to go see NXT, right? But then how
Yeah.
much are you charging for this NXT shows? It's not main roster, guys. You're not gonna charge me an arm and a leg, but you do need to make money have these shows. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's tough. It's a tough situation for them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
Cause
it
like
just
right now, how NXT looks, right? Personally, would you pay 150 for a ticket for a show,
no.
for a regular show, maybe for a PLE,
But yeah, purely yeah, that,
yeah,
but
but not
not
for a regular Tuesday night show.
yeah.
But if you make it a thing like, yo, all NXT tickets are $50, you're good, cause you're gonna get a packed place. But are
Yeah.
you gonna make enough money to keep that? You know what I mean? I
It's
know they have a lot of money, but like I feel like if something's not bringing in a profit, they're gonna hurt from it.
if NXT does travel, right, like, going forward, I
Yeah,
think they should try to run, at least for the first couple of shows, in small venues. I know for the
they
first
should.
2 like, the first 2 with Punk and Orton gonna be on, I get it, like, that's probably gonna sell out tickets instantly,
Yeah,
but if you're gonna keep traveling going forward, which I don't think they're gonna have a lot of big names on every week, like, main roster stars, then just keep it on smaller venues so you don't have to worry about selling out tickets. Look what
yeah,
AEW is doing. AEW, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, they should run smaller venues every week."
yes.
I know it's different, but like
That's what I agree with that though. I think AEW needs to start doing that. I think that's the route that NXT should take. You should
exactly,
be doing these arenas of you don't gotta when you come to New York, you don't gotta do the Barclay Center or
yeah,
MSG. You could do a Hammerstein, a Manhattan Center. You could do um where is it in White Plains, where the Westchester Knicks play. I went to
yeah,
a
yeah,
WWE house show there, and it's a decent size. You know what I mean? Like you don't need these big arenas for NXT. Maybe some cities you're gonna sell out, but I don't think you're gonna sell out every city. It's gonna be
exactly,
a little tough, and then you're gonna have the fans that act like the same way with AEW. That'll be like half the arena's empty. How you gonna
yeah, yeah.
you gonna have those idiots? So instead of having those people, you just jump the gun and start doing small arenas.
Because I get it. It's like the first couple of shows you're gonna want to sell out for,
Yeah,
but time
and
as
you
time
got
goes on,
names, and you got
yeah,
names. You can unless you bring in somebody every week.
I don't think so. That's not happening. I
No,
don't see them doing that.
you shouldn't. You should let this grow on its own.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
but
what happened with when NXT started. They were doing the small arenas, and then it was like, yo, I think we're gonna have to get
travel.
bigger arenas, guys.
Yeah,
So hopefully that's what they start at again with the smaller ones, and then when they finally figure out, okay, we're gonna have to start doing big arenas instead of
yeah,
starting at big arenas and then having to make the jump and be like, ah, maybe we'll just do these small places.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I
So
think
they don't
that's
have to
also
worry about
why
it.
AEW doesn't do it because they don't want to hurt their pride. But it's like, fuck it, just start doing smaller arenas. Look at Raw in 1997. They were in front of a one floor crowd. Like
Right, yeah,
if you could put on a good show, who cares how? That's how I look at it. Like even with NXT, like in the performance center, that people are like, oh, but it's like the same people, it's stagnant. But there's people there. There's people that keep showing up, and you're putting on a show for somebody.
do you hear me? Sorry, I think I went on mute.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I don't know why my audio just went out. But yeah, I do agree. It's just like it's it'll be tough for them, right?
Yeah.
It'll be tough for them to just like be like, hey, we have Punk here, then Randy Orton there, and it's like y'all can relax with trying to. Because I do agree with you on the AEW thing. It's like they have a lot of pride to go down and downgrade on an arena.
Yeah.
So it's like just don't be like them, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, they're not as bad as like when the WNBA games used to have to put the black tarp over stuff. I don't
oh
think
yeah,
any
yeah,
company's gonna be like that, but you never know. Certain arenas aren't great. I mean, look at the yesterday, the crowd at AEW. That
yeah.
crowd was so ass. But again, they're in Kentucky. What do you
Yeah,
expect?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they were like live from Northern Kentucky. I was like, that's why half the places like who's in Kentucky? And then you
Facts,
can't even
facts.
do big moments like the moment when Knights you had two guys just in the front clapping. Nobody else cared. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
"What are y'all saw? We're getting
Uh,
Knights with Brian." Like,
exactly, yeah.
get excited. So that's why I get nervous with NXT because I know they're gonna hit. not major cities, but they're gonna start hitting those small cities, and I don't
Yeah,
want what happened with AEW to happen to them.
yeah, that is true.
Started
That
off
is
on a
true.
good note. That started off that you started off in small places, and then we got so big we had to do the big arenas. We had
Yeah,
no other choice. Kind of like how it started out. Like if you look at like everything was
wholesale.
in Full Sail, and
Yeah,
then the first special out of it was Mania. I think Dallas 32 wasn't a big arena. It was a small arena, and then they did the next one, and then Brooklyn happened after
yeah,
they saw that they got a good amount of people. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so, it like I think Brooklyn happened before Mania. I think Brooklyn happened, and then Mania happened
yeah, yeah.
the
I think
next
one of
year.
the
I
two.
think because I think Brooklyn was the first one in front of like a big arena, and they said, "Whoa, we could do this a lot more."
Yeah, I think
But
that's when they
again,
realized
look at how they built up the roster back then. So
that was
they
stacked
are
roster,
yeah,
man.
so they're on a good roll right now. So if you start off at small arenas and you keep stacking and building this roster the way you're building it, you'll be in big arenas in no time.
Exactly.
Probably by the
Ex-
next, probably by not this Mania coming up, but this SummerSlam, you could probably and not even have a problem with it. Not having to do combos with buy the paper, buy whatever PLEs in town and NXT. Nah, you could sell that out without even having to do a combo or nothing. You
Yeah,
just
that
gotta
is
give it
true.
time and let it grow.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. It makes
Oh yeah.
sense.
Shout out NXT. They came back from the dead, man. Shout out my son William Regal.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna show credit to, but I still say Regal. Regal was that turning point that said, "All right, yo, this is getting good again." Whoa!
Yeah. 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 That is true. That is true. I don't know. I can argue against that.
But yeah, shout out to them,
Yeah.
man.
Shout out to NXT. I mean, it seems to be more enjoyable now than it
Yeah, good
was.
for them, man. Again, too much wrestling for me. Maybe now that Raw kicked down an hour, maybe I'll check out an hour at NXT. Now I got
Yeah.
some free time.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Exactly.
I got
Yeah.
some free time. Come on.
But yeah. One last thing I want to talk about. Um, there were been rumors, again, no reports yet. That AEW might be adding another show called Shockwave.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
You
I'm
don't like
cool
it?
on that. I'm cool on that. Nah, you got too much. You got too much right now. Right now, I feel like you gotta get rid of Rampage.
That's
So
what I was gonna think.
where are
That's what I
you
was gonna
gonna
say.
add this other show?
I would say either A, get rid of Rampage and then maybe do Shockwave before SmackDown, like from 7 to 8, or from 6 to 8,
Okay.
or B, change Collision to Shockwave. Because if you think about it, Collision was technically Punk's show.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a stamp on the Collision. Well, for me, it does, because when I think of Collision, Punk is one of the guys on the show
Okay.
that I think of. I don't know if anyone else is the same thing, but
I've already phased him out of that, but I
yeah, I
see where
guess
you're coming from, though. I see where you're coming from.
it was
I get
meant
it.
for Punk.
Yeah,
So if
I
you
get it.
change it to Shockwave, it's like it erases that part of their history. They don't gotta worry about thinking about Punk anymore.
Yeah.
Um, so it's a whole change of thing. And it'll be a brand new brand. It doesn't really add more as long as they get rid of something. Because if it's in like an additional show, that's too much.
Yeah.
That is too much. If anything, worst case scenario, make it a Sunday thing, Sunday afternoon, to where it's like,
Yeah.
you know. But
I don't even think
I
you need
don't.
another show. I think you're
They don't
fine.
need to.
Get
Yeah,
Rampage out of here. Collision is Collision. If you want to change the name, that's fine. But I treat Collision like SmackDown. Collision is
yeah,
where they wrestle. You know what I mean? That's like if we're looking at it like ruthless aggression years, I'm looking at Dynamite as the Raw, Collision as SmackDown. Collision's where you're gonna get the matches. Dynamite now has been a lot more building shit. Yeah,
yeah,
there's matches, but you can see they're trying to make that shift. Um, which shout out to them, they're trying. But Collision, like I said, keep Collision as it is. As you see, they're using it to build people up. As you see, Deanna's coming back to Dynamite. So like
Yeah,
they're using it as you get your ranks up, kind of like how they had Dark. Like, you get your
kinda,
ranks up
yeah.
and then you move up to the main show. But Collision is just tough because it's on Saturday. It's 8 o'clock. It's just tough with Collision. It's just in such a weird um time that's just I don't know. Is it maybe it's me? I be doing things on Saturday. And that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
don't watch SmackDown like that either. I catch up with highlights because Friday I'm usually doing stuff. And not saying
Yeah.
that I got the craziest life, but just things like going out with family to dinner, or you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out with friends is little shit. But like you miss it because it's like it starts at 8, done at 10. Like if you're gonna give me an AEW show, you should have tried to do two in the week. But even that, I don't want. I'm cool. I like the way they have it now.
Me too, I'm loving
Keep
it.
it like that. Yeah.
And
Collision is
unless
get like I know people are like, oh, Collision gets no views. They got in their couple 100,000. Is it millions? No. People are watching it though. I always watch replays though. I'll be straight up. I don't watch live.
yeah, I get it, I get it. But the thing is though, if if Shockwave becomes a thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think, like I said, like I think it'll be cool if it just becomes like an hour show before a Dynamite or before a Collision, and it does sound like its own personal thing where it shouldn't really be attached to Dynamite or Collision.
Yeah.
Um, but unless they're getting rid of Rampage, that sounds cool. You don't really need to add another show, and it's going to be very confusing. The last thing
Yes.
I thought of too was, what if this is a way to bring in Shane? What if Shane takes this show, replaces Collision, saying, "Yeah, I bought Collision. I own Collision. I run Collision, but I don't like the name. I want to call it Shockwave
Yeah.
because it's
They could
mine
do
now."
something like that.
So as long as there's a way to change one of them, or it's like an hour long, it's cool. They don't need another 2 hour show. That's just
Yeah.
too much, way too much.
I'm fine with just renaming one of the shows, like you said with Collision,
Yeah,
because a lot of people probably had it like you think of Collision, you think of Punk. So just change
yeah,
that, change the name of it. Why not? Even though I love the Collision logo and stuff, but you could still use the same layout with just Shockwave. I don't know.
yeah. I guess. I guess.
We'll see. I just hope it's not. I really hope it's untrue rumor. I hope. I just
Yeah. I
think
mean,
that's too much wrestling. That's too much.
yeah. It is. It would be. It would
Yeah.
be.
I don't even keep up with Rampage. You gonna throw another show on my plate? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. That's so true. I don't. I give up on Rampage now. I don't want to keep up with that
Yeah.
anymore.
Rampage is just there to give people a spot, which is cool for
That's
them.
that's the new dark. That is the new dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without it being on YouTube, it's just on one of the
TV.
time slots. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I guess so. I guess we don't know.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. I really hope it's like you said, like a name change or something. Because another show I feel like is a lot for
Yeah.
any company right now.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
like
like
if
WWE
WWE
has a
added a
lot, AEW has a lot,
they're
TNA's
running Ring
just
of Honor on top of that
here.
too.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
why you're doing too much, man. Relax.
yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
What's crazy is they're about to celebrate their 5th year, right?
That is true. Yeah.
Their 5th year anniversary coming up, which is insane. I
And when I
saw
know
that
it's even
yesterday, and
crazier.
I forget how young of a company they are
Yeah, I know, right?
sometimes.
It's like,
I'm
damn
like,
it.
yo, they get so much shit. They're only 5 years old. Like, that's
It
crazy.
feels like it's longer than 5 years, but it's like
Yeah,
shit,
but it's
man.
also
It's 5
like
years.
COVID and a lot of stuff like dragged out. I don't know, man. It's been a fun 5 years. I've enjoyed the 5 years.
Yeah, they started a year before the Ring Fanatics did, which is crazy.
Yeah,
We
facts.
yeah
That's a fact.
we just hit 4 years this week. Um,
Yes, sir.
so yeah yeah
You don't talk about the ring side.
no that's oh god no. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to.
Oh
People are gonna
man,
question that. Be
I
like, "What's the ring side?"
I
I'm
still
not
have the
telling you.
episodes. I still have
Yeah,
the episodes.
we got to do that. Like for the 5 year anniversary, we got to rewatch that first one that
Oh
we did.
man, that was
Yeah,
bad.
that was
I have
terrible.
one. I have one where we booked NXT versus WWE in a Survivor Series. I think
That's
before it even happened.
that's the one we're watching. I want to see
Yeah.
if that was a. I want to
I'm
see. I
gonna
want to hear
find it.
people's
I got
thoughts.
you. I
Yeah.
got you. I'm gonna find it because I remember we put together a nice card. I'm not gonna lie.
You listened to it? You
I
watched it?
haven't, but I remember we had a good. Think about it. Think about the roster at that time.
Yeah,
We
like
definitely had some.
2018,
Yeah,
2018. Yeah.
we
Yeah,
had some good picks.
that
I
could be
gotta look for that
next.
episode. I gotta look for that episode.
If you find it by next week, that could be next week's episode.
I got you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put that whole thing out. That's just bad. In the
Yeah.
vaults.
Ring Fanatics Vault too.
Oh man, I'm gonna look for it now when I get home.
Bet.
Got you.
But
Hey
yeah,
man, 4 years, man. What a time.
yeah, what a time. What a time. But yeah, I think we could finish
Yeah,
up
for
there. There's
real.
not really much to talk about in the world of wrestling within the past week. Yeah, so this has
Oh,
been
real quick, before we go, did you see the trailer for the Vince McMahon doc?
I did.
What's
Yes.
your feelings on it?
I just got to see it, I guess. I mean, I
Were
don't
you
really have
surprised that there's a lot of talking heads that we didn't think we were gonna get?
I mean, no, those are his guys. I
I
feel
didn't think we
like
were gonna get any of them. I didn't think we were gonna get any talking heads. I mean, we know Brett. Brett was waiting by the phone when that happened. When he
yeah.
got he was waiting 3 decades. He's been waiting since the year I was born for this moment. When they called him
Yeah.
and they said, "Yo, we're doing a doc on Vince McMahon. You want to come talk shit?" You don't think how fast he got out of that crib? He got
Yeah.
paid for his own flight and everything. He was like, "Yo, I got you. I got stories for days."
Yeah. I
So I
mean, we
was
shall.
surprised at like Triple H being in there, Cena. I was like, I wonder how this is gonna look.
I mean, yeah, it's just like I gotta watch it first to really think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know. I just gotta watch it to see what
Yeah,
happens.
I just didn't think we were gonna get any of those guys. I thought we were gonna get like ex wrestlers, kind of like Dark Side of the Ring. I thought we were gonna get like that. I didn't think we were gonna get guys that are in the company right now. You know what I mean? Like that's
Those
insane.
those are probably the guys that were willing to talk about him, I guess.
Yeah,
So
but we'll see, man. That's gonna be a
we'll
good
see.
one.
Yeah, we'll see. But before we go to the upcoming Monday, our next Fanatic Brackets episode will be out, featuring Elvis from the Backseat Wrestler Pod as we break down the best finisher of all time. So
Yeah.
tune in on Monday for that episode as well. Again, this has been episode 176 of the Ring Fanatics podcast. I'm Nick, your host. With me, as always, is Joel, and we will see you guys next time.
Gotcha.